Hello everybody, here is Tuomas Airaksinen again, the lead developer of AntBible, and I'm going to do the financial report for the last quarter of last year, quarter 4 of 2025. And let's see what is inside this report this time. I have been revising the report to some extent, trying to make the tables a bit clearer, and also I will first tell about a little bug or a problem or kind of error in the last quarter 1 to 3 reports that is worth mentioning. It is only it is a little bit bug that when feature development work exceeded the sponsorship, which is shown as negative values from features column in the earlier reports, this unsponsored feature work was not being counted as free work. So this is the correction. If there was, like, for example, quarter 1 January, there's from features 725 euros, it was only saying free work 293 euros, but actually the corrected free work is much bigger, to 1025 euros. This free work is kind of synonymous for voluntary work that I'm doing if there is not sponsorship, so you can kind of count it as sponsored by me, this kind of work. So this is just for you to know that there has been a little bug or kind of issue in the earlier reports. I'm not going to edit the earlier reports, but it is just here so that you can know the correct numbers. Let's go to the sponsorship flow. This goes almost similar way as earlier, it's just that these numbers have been a bit more clarified, so that are kind of the columns that are shown here. So we can start from the biggest feature, which has not been yet completed. So actually it is possible to sponsor this still, but at the moment I am kind of sponsoring it myself mostly, which I started this feature I started in December. It is this kind of large language model feature bundle that will be released later next year, or this year actually, 2025 spring. I estimate it is taking still a couple of months at least. It's quite big. So this is shown here. It is completely going to generic because there was no sponsorship. 26 hours I spent on it, but there is no sponsorship for it. The second feature was actually sponsored feature. There is now possibility to change language in the displayed results window of search results. So it is kind of a feature that one user wanted to sponsor, and it was sponsored. It was actually taking only less than half of the sponsored amount, so the remaining went to the generic pool. Third feature, this was also kind of I'm not sure, maybe this is November. This is like the StudyPad cursor editing position and StudyPad search features. There were two features that I made. Actually, there should be also video about these features, but anyway, the video is given in the summary that is the last section of this report. So that was also kind of self-sponsored, but let's see the generic funding, if there was any that month, that we can see from the sponsorship flow, generic development, and here we can see that October was completely sponsored. There was 1,032 euros coming that month, and even remaining for next month there was some 537 euros, and plus this, and this is coming from the completed feature which I was showing just a moment ago. It is this one that had remaining 56 euros. It is coming here, and on November we have 57% of sponsorship coverage, meaning that because these features were done on November, it is covered 57% from this funding. So that is actually almost 60% of sponsorship. So you can kind of think that I was sponsoring myself 40% of the development that month. And December, this is the month when I was kind of fully involved, almost fully involved, and still I am, like, for a couple of months probably, not completely. I will be doing other things that are maybe priority also, but this one is coming here, and as you see there is 138 euros of sponsorship that month, and that concludes that free work or my voluntary work or my sponsorship is then 1,475 euros, which makes that sponsorship percentage is 9% for December. But yeah, I must say that I have been I will be explaining this feature a little bit more in the summary section. Let's go first through this. You can read more carefully, like these columns are now, I feel it is more clear. The descriptions are here, carry over, means that what is coming from the earlier months and so on. So for example, if there is some euros coming from last period, it would be displayed here, but this time there was no. So as you see, now we have full full chart, because this reporting system has been going on for 1 year. So you can see in October there was a lot of sponsorship. Some of it was flowing into kind of covering of the work in November, and sponsorship was dropping from October to November, and December it was significantly smaller revenue coming from Unbuyable sponsorship, but anyway, this was covering some of the November work as well. Let's see the time tracking summary. As you see, the feature development is taking quite big chunk this time, because I was focusing in this LLM, which is taking the most. Maybe we can see the more accurate one. So this AI project is this 47%. AB feature development actually is, there are two. Okay, this is a mistake, but anyway, these two are kind of concluding this study pad features, I think, mostly, and then support and maintenance. They are kind of the normal things that I've been telling about earlier, and they are also described here what this means. And yeah, maybe I will read the summary part because it is kind of important. So the fourth quarter was dominated by the work on the new LLM AI features, which consumed roughly half of all development time during this period. I started this project because I saw enormous potential in it, and personally it excited and inspired me significantly. Even though there was no sponsorship for it, I wanted to sponsor the work myself through my own volunteer contribution. This is a substantial project and is expected, Lord willing, to be completed during spring 2026. Two other features were also completed during this quarter. Improvements to StudyPad, cursor editing and search functionality. So here are the links now to those features, and you can see the video description here for both of them, and a language selection button in the search result window. The latter, meaning this one, was the only fully sponsored feature work this quarter. Another highlight of the quarter was welcoming a new team member. Toby Heme joined the project as a part-time developer trainee. He assists with bug fixes, user support, and other project tasks, freeing up more of my time for core development work. So we can see there is also a blog post about this. I will be planning to continue at least for next 3 months, and we will see after that how it continues. But anyway, this is kind of as I have been telling earlier also, this what I will be sponsoring myself, meaning I will be paying it from my own pocket, and sponsorship otherwise goes as earlier. It is kind of not part of any of these numbers here. Overall, quarter 4 saw a noticeable drop in sponsorship coverage compared to earlier in this year, with December being particularly lean. In the long term, a continued decline in sponsorship would naturally reduce my ability to participate in the project at the level I have before. However, I remain positive about the future in this regard. Development continued at steady pace through the quarter, reflecting the commitment to moving Unbible forward regardless of the funding levels. Maintenance and user support work continued as usual alongside the feature development. Closing words. So, what I appreciate the most is that I'm not doing this alone. There are other people that are helping, or kind of they are contributing to this project through their finances. Also, other ways there have been like contributions. I think there has been some increasement even in the contributions on the open source side. So anyway, I'm thankful for everybody for being part of this project. Thank you, and I want to wish happy and blessed New Year, and God bless. Bye bye.